Hi. It's good evening for me, but good evening, good afternoon, good day, whatever you are. Today, as you can see by the title of the video, I'm going to be talking about the new rules regarding tourism in the EU. The EU and further than that, in other countries that are not part of the EU in Europe. Now, let's start with something that I think people have to know. Listen, tourism is a business, and most of us have no issues with tourism as long as it does not interfere with our lives. Because if you don't know this, you should know this. Most of the times when you are on vacation, other people are working, other people are living, other people have children, other people have older people at their care. Other people move about. Other people go to the supermarket. Other people go to do their shopping. Other people want to enjoy the beach without having some kind of drunk lout hanging around with a Union Jack Speedo to issue a cliche to the next of the conversation. What does this mean? This means that when you go on vacation to somewhere else, especially a foreign country, you have to understand that you are a guest. And that whole conversation that I sometimes had, oh, yeah, you are biting the hand that feeds you. The only thing I have to tell you, if you come around here with that attitude, is fuck off. Fuck off, don't come here. We don't need you. Look, you go into another country to vacation, and it's very simple. You are there, look, maybe to have some fun. Why not? To visit, to try the food. But you are there as a guest. Okay, you are not some kind of king immune to the rules and immune to being a polite person. Okay, of look, I'm going to tell you this. I have not traveled outside of my country a lot. I have traveled outside of my country. Won't say where, but I have done it. But I don't feel that need to travel around. I'm not that kind of person. There's so much to do around here, so much to see, and it's so much easy for me to just hang around in Portugal and go over to Spain sometimes, visit some couple of places that I like. It's so easy to do it, and it's so easy to find things to do that I never found that urge. Okay. There are a couple of places that I want to visit. I want to visit, for example, Iceland, Quebec, and Scotland too. These three places, for example, they are in my bucket list. Okay. Also to go to France, but I already went there once. But to go with time and to go and visit the Louvre and a couple of other places that I want to visit, and also in Italy, a couple of places too I want to visit. But uh, just to end the conversation, also to go to East Prussia, to the place where once the village of my great grandmother stood before the Soviets destroyed it and we simply erased it from the map, to go to Poland and to visit that place, that area that I know more or less where it is, for personal reasons. Now, imagine this. You are walking around in the streets of Albufeira at Saturday night. You expect it to be crowded. Okay? You expect in this time of year to have tourists. Look, but no one needs no one needs to see half-naked idiots, even if it's a woman. Okay? Half-naked idiots wandering around in the streets drunk and making trouble. No one needs to hear you shout because you are too drunk. No one needs to see you drinking in the street. No one needs to see that. Okay, you want to drink, go inside the goddamn bar, sit down and have your drink. You want to shout, go shout back into your own country. Okay, this it's simple as this. Okay, we don't mind tourists. We don't mind that you come here, for example, and it's a warm evening and you want to go outside and you want to have a couple of drinks with your friends and talk and laugh, whatever. Okay, no one is saying that is that we have any problems about that, but we don't want to see your shit. You want to act up, leave, go somewhere else. Okay, go back to your hometown, sit in a pub, and drink yourselves to death. We don't give a crap. But don't bring your shit around here. Because people are tired. I'm even surprised that more issues have not been happening. Because I talk with people that live in those areas. I have family in the Algarve. I have friends in the Algarve. Honestly, I speak more with my friends than I speak with my family for my reasons. And they tell me. And people are simply tired of this shit. So I saw a lot of articles about this. One of them, I won't show it here because it's not worth it. Because besides the articles themselves, they have so much rebel and so much how can I say this? So much bias information and rather outdated. A lot of newspapers or media companies, media venues, whatever we want to call them, because it's online, so it's not a newspaper, but newspaper is paper. But especially in two areas of the world, United States and the UK. I don't know why. Maybe it's cultural. Even if in the UK people are not that dumb, at least yet. Minus the voters of reform, people in the UK, most of them, there are people that you can talk with them and they understand what you are saying to them and they understand the reasoning. Okay, you can reason with them. This is what I want to say. But the Americans, they're too stupid. Honestly, sorry, Americans. I know most of you, or a significant part of you, are not that dumb. But look, what arrives here is all I can talk about. Now, and and they are surprised about these rules. For example, security rules. You cannot unbuckle your for example, your seatbelt or whatever. When you're landing in your airplane, you cannot unbuckle it before the airplane has come to a full stop. Now, I have flied. I don't like to fly, but I have I had to a couple of a couple, not a couple. Let's say it sometimes. I had to do it sometimes. Okay, and I followed the security rules. Why? Because they are there for a reason. And for example, and this is one of the pearls they put here. Oh, you are going to be surprised if you unbuckle your seatbelt before the plane comes to a full stop. You are going to pay a 62 euro fine. What will you? What will? Why is this so hard to understand? You break a rule, you pay a fine. You are lucky they don't just jail you and deport you back to your home. Is this? Do you understand how stupid this sounds to someone that is in a place, whatever, in Europe, okay, even in Turkey, I think they are talking about this is in Turkey. But I know you can get fined here too. I know that because, as I said, I have flight. I have went on flights before, and they seem to be surprised. Oh, and what terrible big start for your vacation. Well, you did it. You were the asshole. What were you expecting? You mean to say that rules don't apply to you? In my view, they should be even more harsher in some aspects. And I'm not just talking about this question with tourism, I'm talking about other things in society regarding people being forced to follow the rules. Because following the rules does not take your freedom from you, it just takes your freedom to be an asshole. See why I say the Americans cannot understand this? You are a Nazi, for example. You can be a Nazi here, but you cannot offend other people. You can keep those ideas to yourself and to your friends or whatever, or to the people that know you. Okay, no one will bother you if you do that. But if you, for example, start spewing racist remarks to other people, for example, if you start using swastika to rally up uh, a reaction in other people, or put a bloody flag with a swastika or whatever the fuck you want to put in your lawn, you can do that because you're living in a society. Okay, right now I'm here in my own space. I can do whatever I want. I'm not bothering anyone. But when I step a foot outside of my house and I enter in society, I have to be conscious that there are a certain number of rules that I have to follow. So if I go out drinking with my friends, I know that I'm still in society. And oh, you just have to let yourself loose. No, I don't know what is this fascination, but I don't drink that often right now. No, haven't. I haven't done it. When I was a kid, I was never that fascinated with it. And to be honest, I have a high tolerance to alcohol. But when I went into to watch some concerts, when I went to go out, to bars, all of that shit, I used to drink, but I never drank myself drunk, silly. I just drank to loosen up, to smile a bit, to be just to relax, okay, put my mind at ease. But we don't need people completely drunk, wandering around the streets half naked. Don't need that shit. No one needs that. There are also a lot of families vacationing here, and a lot of families, and here in Portugal too, families want to get out at night and go to a cafe or whatever place, and to have them drink a coffee, okay, have a nightcap, whatever. The kids get an ice cream. This is normal, okay. In summertime, my parents at night, when my dad, well, he was always working, but and a baker works at night, but look, we would go in with my mom and us children. Okay, we would go into the cafe. My mom would have a coffee. My dad would have his coffee. Okay, they will talk. They were talking, and me and my brothers we are having an ice cream and playing in an arcade or something like this. Because if you don't know this, when I was a kid around here, almost all cafes had at least one or two arcades and a dart machine and all of that. Now the dot machines are still there, but unfortunately the arcades are not there anymore. The coin ups. Okay, but and today this still happens, okay? Because it's summertime, the kids are on vacation, and they want to. Also, the parents want to. They work all day, or they are on vacation too, and they want to go out with the kids, take a night stroll, okay, enjoy the evening, and then you are confronted with hordes of drunken idiots. And oh, we are tourists, we are papa. Go fuck yourselves. We don't need you. We need decent people that come here, want to have fun. Look, no problem. There are places here for you to have fun indoors. But you want to come here and disturb us? Look, we are already mad at tourists for inflating the prices of houses, the prices of some things, and people are getting fed up. And when people get fed up, they vote for people that tell them we will end this. And right now, we voted for people to end this. Look, for example, they are talking about this about the town of Albufeira. Okay, so and these are the rules they are imposing, and they are not mentioning them all here. For example, the selling alcohol after 11 at night, 2300 hours in the city of Albufeira is now forbidden. So the shops and all of that they cannot sell you alcohol after that hour. You can only drink inside the bars. You cannot go around with drinks in your hands and making a fuss in the middle of the street. Wearing swimwear only at the beach. You want to go around in town. You wear a t-shirt. You wear some pants or a pair of shorts or whatever, and other things like, for example, things that are already the law here. Just like, for example, using adequate footwear to drive. So no driving with bloody flip-flops or barefoot. Okay, and these are rules that some of it was already in place here, and now they are being enforced. And look, you can I won't do it. I will escape. I will do whatever. Sure, you can. If you get arrested, you are going to a list. Imagine this: you are fine. You start bickering with the cop. No, not a good idea, because then that will be a crime of disobedience, and a crime of disobedience is heavily fined. Okay, those fines for example, wearing swimwear outside of the beach, they can go to almost 2,000 euros. They are talking about here 1,000 and 1,500, but they're not right. But and things like reserving sunbeds and disappearing and doing all of that shit. No, and understand this: these rules are common sense. No public nudity, no drinking outside of the designated places. Okay, no selling of alcohols in the equivalent to 7-Eleven shops and all of that. All of this is all to preserve public order. You can still go inside a bar and drink, or a cafe. If it's open, you can still drink there. But these rules are going to get tighter, and they are going to spread. For example, right now they are just talking about the town of Albufeira. There are a lot of towns that are going to do this. Some of them are already doing this. Okay, because you have to understand this is the place where people live. You want to know why I don't go to the Algarve? And I love the Algarve. I went there often when I was a kid. I don't go there because I can't be bothered with the revel of tourists that infest the place right now, almost the entire year. I can't stand it. Confusion, noise. Look, I'm living right now. I live in a town near the beach. Okay, as I told you in other videos, I'm about a quarter of hour on foot or on bike from a beach, or around 5 minutes in my car. And right now, I'm not going to the beach because I'm having some issues with this. Some issues, let's say it like this, okay, with my eyes and whatever. And I don't want to risk it. But look, even here, where tourism is not that heavy, they disturb us. You go to the supermarket, especially if you like to go to Lidl here, that has a lot of local products. I would say around 80% of what they sell is Portuguese, and I don't like to go there. I go there at specific hours just to not put up with the tourists. And you would say, well, Billy, but they bring money. Yes, they bring money, but we don't need this many people bothering us here. And if they are going to come, they are going to need rules like these ones that I'm telling you. And in my opinion, I told you before in the video, I told you these rules should be even harsher. To me, if someone starts to make trouble, whatever the type of trouble, in my opinion, it would not be a fine. It will be pick that person up, put him in an airplane, and go back to where you came from. And of course, if you are British, if you are English, don't think this is solely directed at you. There are other tourists that are also doing the same shit. Okay? This is not just for you. I'm just addressing you because you seem to be the worst the worst group of them all. Honestly. And I even work as a security guard when I was a kid. Security guard, assistant security guard, meaning there was a professional doing the job, and then there were a couple of people like me to be the muscle. And I'll tell you this: the English were the worst, drunk idiots, drunk idiots completely. Okay, I'm sorry to say this, but this is my life experience. Okay, but not just you. No, don't think that because that is not correct. There are also a lot of families that come here of English people that just want to spend some time with their kids in the sun and enjoy the beach or whatever, and that's perfectly acceptable. These measures are also for that people, for that type of persons. Those are the type of persons that we want. We want either normal individuals and families. We don't need that shit. Don't know that we don't need that those types of people. We don't need them. We don't want them. And Portugal is receiving, for example, I'm talking about Portugal, tourists from other parts, from Asia, from wherever you want to know. Okay, they come here. They like the food. They like the culture. They like the scenery. A lot of them come here for historical visits, to visit the castles, to visit the palaces, to visit because this country has a lot to offer. Okay, and we have no issues in showing it, but you have to understand this. If you go as a tourist to a place, look, be polite and follow the bloody rules. Okay, treat people with politeness. But you, look, and you can get in a lot of trouble because there's a lot of crazy people here too. There are people here that might not like what you are doing. You go around, for example, in the street making noise, and you might get your ass kicked, okay, or worse, if you don't behave. And it's very dangerous for you to walk around drunk. People will take advantage of you. And just for you to understand, most of and I will be completely frank with you, most of the sexual attacks and serious offenses here are perpetrated either by tourists or by foreigners working in those places. So you need to keep yourself safe. I'm not saying Portuguese citizens don't do it, but I've seen the statistics. Because in the television, in order not to provoke racial hatred and all of that, they don't talk about the ethnicity of the person. And in my view, that is correct. Okay, because a lot of people don't know how to read a chart. Okay, and they will make assumptions without seeing the data, without seeing where it happens and why it happens. What I'm trying to tell you is that you getting drunk and doing whatever you do, and especially if you're a girl or woman, you are putting yourself in serious risk, and the threat will come from other tourists like you, most of the times. So, look, I just wanted to talk about this because I look at these pieces, okay, and I see so much shit going on. For example, like talking like, oh, a fine for driving with flip flop. It has always been this way. Look, I took my driver's license almost 30 years ago, okay, and it was already like this. It the rule is here, and people were already being fined. This is just a further warning for people to understand this, and also count on things like tourist taxes. Count on them because they are coming. Lisbon already has it. More cities in Portugal have it. And this will be a common event. And these taxes, all of this has a precise objective to improve the quality of life of people here, because we are here. This is our our country, and also to control the number of tourists that come here, to make business give a better and more controlled response to the tourism business, meaning not to fill up hotels just because they want to fill up hotels and make as much money as they can, and also to give us some peace during summer, especially. So, if you start to listen to the news and then they come up with, oh, oh, they are biting the hand that feeds them and whatever, no, don't go, don't go there. It has nothing to do with this. Nothing at all. This has to do with rules. You have rules in your country. We have rules in ours. You want to come visit? Follow our rules. And again, I will tell you this. You can get hurt seriously. And if you are, for example, outside of the EU, this includes the UK, also remember this. If you are charged of a serious offense, for example, battery or some shit like that, you might find yourselves inside of a jail waiting trial. Do you understand this? Because if you are a EU citizen, you can you can await what we call trial. Let's call it like this. You can go back to your country pending trial inside of the EU. But if you are a foreigner from outside of the EU, for example from the UK, in order to prevent you from escaping the country, escaping the authority of the Portuguese authorities, and I'm not just the Portuguese authorities, okay, the Spanish authorities, the French authorities. You understand what I'm trying to say? They will put you in jail pending trial, and you can be there up to at here up to a year, 1 year. You can be, we call it, preventively detained up to 1 year. Usually, it doesn't take that time. Usually, you don't want a person waiting trial more than 3 months. But depending on the complexity of the case, you can wait for it. That can happen. If you get yourself a fine in your car will be towed until you pay it. An EU citizen can go back to home because and why is this? Because, for example, a person that is being trialed here and that person lives in Germany. The Portuguese authorities just need to make a request to the German authorities, and now it goes directly between courts. It doesn't even go via, let's call it, the ministries and whatever. And if you pay a fine and you don't pay it, and you go back, for example, to Germany, or for example, do it in Germany and you come back here to Portugal, they sent it here and we charge it. In the UK, no. You left the EU. So, to not just UK, UK now is just like the United States, I don't know the rest of the world, you understand? So if the crime is serious enough, look, I'm not going to tell you you are going to be detained and held in preventive detainment for some kind of small potatoes. Okay, I'm not saying this, but I'm just informing you that a serious offense like this, for example, imagine you beat someone and that person has to go to hospital or whatever. That is serious enough. Of course, then the judge has to decide. Okay, these sayings, just because it's predicted in the law, the judge always has a room to decide which is the measures that should be applied to that case. That depends on other factors like the person, like how it happened, why it happened, and the type of individual that committed the crime, whatever. But you have to be careful. This is what I'm trying to tell. You have to be careful, really. You have to behave. I don't want to fearmonger anyone, but you have to behave. Because, look, you might escape once, you might escape twice. But I know a person that works in the airport, and every day there are a couple of Brits that are stopped and sent back home because they are in the list. They committed crimes or committed or made a fuss, like for example in a football match or some shit like this, and they've been blacklisted. So each time their name appears, you are not going to enter in the country, and it's not a judge that is going to decide this. Okay, it's a cop. A cop will look at you at your record, and if you're on the list, he will decide if he'll let you in or not. And a lot of people are being sent back. Go back. and not walking through. So I just wanted to make this video uh, just to put a bit of a warning, give a bit of a warning to people so that you don't think this is some kind of the EU does not love for this for the British, the EU is punishing us or whatever. No, has nothing to do with this. These are the rules. And believe me that the tourism business is going to go through a very harsh change in the next years. It's not going to be the same. No. They are talking about this. They are going, for example, they are going to limit the number of visitors, for example, to a town or to a region. They are going to limit the people that can be at the beach. They are going to limit a series of things because we have to protect ourselves. We have to protect our environment. We have to protect our cities. We have to protect ourselves. And we are first, and whoever comes to visit is second. Simple as this. Right. Well, this has gone long enough. I hope you liked the video and it was at least informative. And I hope you have an excellent day.